What is going on, X community? Exostomp here, and we're here for the Miners Week number 4 Pickems. And of course, joining me, like always, he's always here. It's Galaxybomb.
I'm always watching. How's it going, everyone? Look at these rankings.
Nope, don't look at them.
Oh, I feel so good after the last week. Oh, it feels good. So, I didn't miss a single game that is on here, which I'm very happy about. And I also got my lock. I'm also very happy about that. I did bet against myself, and I did lose. I lost a little worse than I thought I did, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to get at least one more kill at the very end, but just to get my extra point. But that's crafty, my lord. That thing's scary. I think that thing has the most kills in majors and minors so far.
Oh, I think I gave you a point. Okay, you technically have 9, actually.
Oh, did I get an extra by accident?
Yeah, I just counted it up. I'm not gonna count forfeits just because it's not really like that's not
fair.
Yeah, so the Florida, what is that? Florida Failing? Florida Failing.
You know.
Yeah, them. They got a forfeit win. I think I counted that, but anyways, it would still be 9-8, so you're still winning. But yeah,
Sure.
Also, Rabbit and Bart haven't played yet, so that's the one that I locked on. So if you guys are like, why didn't you lock this week or last week? That's why. So I did lock. I locked on Rabbit, but so it won't be on here. But I'll add up the points next week, and then yeah. So don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the first game, which is San Francisco Salazzles versus Thor's Thundies.
Okay.
Sort of one-sided, but you could start.
Yeah, so the Salazzles have some pretty nice offensive mons. Atelions, Salazzle, Tyrantrum, a lot of violence here. Thundies also have some good offense. Delphox, Pangoro, Escav can do a lot of damage. Then I kind of look between them, and I'm just kind of thinking, what? I don't know. I feel like the Thundies have some trouble here, personally.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, what, you think the Thundies are definitely at advantage?
Well, yeah, I think I feel like matchup-wise, I don't know. I feel like they have more options in terms of like what they can bring and what's good here.
I mean, maybe Inteleon is quite good. It does get walled by Vaporeon pretty hard, but it hurts Delphox. It's definitely a threat to Delphox because it's faster for sure. It's also pretty good against Diancie, and Donphan, of course. And it does have some good Ice Tech against Swellow, as well as Altaria. So it hits a lot of their team. I could definitely see it doing quite a lot. Salazzle's a nice counterpart to that as well. While they don't have anything particularly weak to fire besides Roselia and Escav, it's pretty good neutrally. Maybe not so much. Salazzle might have some trouble here. I relook at it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they need to bring Salazzle. They do have plenty of offense without it, and their defensive lineup is not bad either.
I don't know. Okay, so let's see. So I just think Inteleon gets completely walled by Vaporeon. Vaporeon can easily flip, like always come in freely and then flip turn out freely into whatever Mac wants. And then like stuff like Pangoro, the switch into Pangoro, what, like Ligar? If it switches in though, it gets knocked off and then it's not switching anymore. So I don't see many switches to Pangoro, or like Swellow just spamming Boom Burst is pretty free because I mean Hoop I guess can come in, but it's not gonna take too many because of Scrappy. So I don't see many options in terms of what can take hits.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think it will definitely be a matchup of momentum, who's in the lead and who can keep that lead going for the longest. Um, I can see the Salazzles coming ahead and keeping that lead going, but if they fall behind, the Thundies can definitely do a lot.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's pretty hard to say. I think I still will give it to the Salazzles though. I think they have the options to pull through. I'll give them a 2-0 to start. I think it will be pretty close though.
Okay, a 2-0. That's fine. That's yeah. Okay. Thor's Thundies. I'm gonna give it to Thor's Thundies. I'm gonna give them. The problem is on paper, for me, the San Francisco Slazzles don't look that good, but they've been doing well. So I have no idea what I'm talking about. I guess. I'm gonna give Thor's Thundies a 3-0.
Okay.
2-0, and I said 3-0. Okay, cool. All right, next game is going to be the Sleeping Snorlax versus the T1 Tyrannitars. Ooh. So if this game does happen to happen, I feel like it could be a good game, but so far, Record Man has not really played many games besides week ones, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I hope they do play because they have a fun team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope for the best.
Yeah. T1 T-Tars they have not lost. They beat their hardest opponent, which was the Thor's Thundies last week. So, quite honestly, I don't know I don't know if they're gonna lose. I don't.
Is it fair if I give the T1 Tyrannitars a 3-0 win just in case you're good, man?
No. Well, I'm not gonna count forfeits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you could guess that if you want, but yeah.
I mean, just thinking about it, I feel like the Tyrannitars do have the matchup here.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, Venusaur is very strong. There is Rapidash, but I don't know if Rapidash could even come here. Because 1 for Alligator, 2 Mudsdale. Like, what does Rapidash even do? So, if Rapidash isn't a threat, Venusaur just kind of walks all over their team.
Well, even with that, Venusaur has Earth Power now, so even with Rapidash,
right?
Yeah.
Venusaur can do a lot here.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get if Venusaur has a recover Venusaur has Synthesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Venusaur gets a growth, some kind of just boost and just Synthesis, what do they do?
The only thing I could see is a really def Snorlax or Slowbro even could work, because Slowbro and Snorlax are probably the best bet. Slowbro does of course resist both stabs, but Earth Power is a thing, so I don't know. I would say Snorlax is probably the best bet because of Thick Fat, but I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't see what I could see what could happen, where maybe Arvid somehow throws away. See, the problem is that Arvid has 4 different sweepers, so even if one dies, he has 3 others. So what are they gonna do?
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I don't know.
I'm gonna give Arvid a 5-0 if this ever happens.
I will give the Tyrannitars a 3-0.
3-0, okay. Alright. Next game, Berlin Blossoms versus the London Luxrays. Berlin versus London. Okay. Well, so honestly, this is another game where I feel like it's a little one-sided because the London Luxrays has so many fast mons. Even Regigigas with slow start sort of outspeeds most of its team, which is sad.
Yeah, Blossoms are pretty slow here. Floatzel and Bolton definitely have a good advantage there. Though, how much does Bolton realistically hit here? I'm trying to think.
It has enough coverage, physically to hit a decent amount of these Pokemon.
Hmm.
I think it has like Play Rough. It's got doesn't. I don't think it has Close Combat. It has something. Hold on. I'm actually curious too. Let me see.
Yeah.
I had Strong Jaw, which is nice with like Fire Fang. It's got
Yeah, I mean, it's got some good Fang moves as coverage, which can definitely help. Although, I'm trying to look here. Like, Fire Fang can hit Rotom Frost.
yeah,
And that's about it.
Lurantis,
Then, like,
Vikavolt.
oh yeah, okay. Alright, so it does hit a bit more. So yeah, I could definitely see Bolton doing a bit more than I initially seen. Though, I feel like the Blossoms have some pretty good mons. I could see Lurantis doing quite a lot, getting some kind of contrary setup. It hits Floatzel really hard, Sandaconda as well. Chestnut does wall it quite a bit though. Um, so that's something to keep into consideration.
The thing is, last week the Berlin Blossoms should have won. It was over, like, basically, because Trick Room was up. Hatterene had more than 3 turns. I forgot exactly who they were versing, but they had 3 turns. All they needed to do was click Dazzling Gleam 3 times and win. They clicked it the first time. Hoopa came out. They clicked Psychic. And they lost because they didn't click Dazzling Gleam 2 more times. Now, I'm not sure why. I feel like I don't understand what the thought process was by clicking Psychic. I'm not, like, I don't know what exactly they thought.
It's very possible they forgot what typing Hoopa is.
Oh, you could just scroll over to it, right?
Yeah, but you know, in the moment.
I guess. Yeah, so I personally, I don't think I can bet on them for this matchup, because number one, I honestly do think the London Luxrays do have a better matchup. But number two, I just think I don't see what would sweep on their team here beside, not even like Hatterene, because even if you go for Trick Room, London Luxrays have Slowking, they have Alolan Marowak to take advantage of that. I don't see many options here.
That is fair. I do agree with you. I feel like the Blossoms can still pull it off. I will give them the win here. I'm gonna say 1-0 though.
Okay. So you're gonna say Berlin Blossoms 1-0?
Yeah, Berlin Blossoms are gonna win 1-0 is my prediction. I don't think I feel like they might have just got heated in the moment and made that misplay, but they got into the position where they could win in the first place. So I do think they have the ability to get ahead.
All right,
when needed.
That's fair. I'm gonna give the London Luxrays a 4-0.
Okay.
All right, and let's move on here. We got Thundurus versus Florida Phalanx. Wow. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at it. So Florida Phalanx have 2 mons that are faster than Thundurus' whole team, but I don't think Dugtrio does much. Like, the Uxie just sort of walls it, and there's a few mons, like even the Sandslash just sort of walls it. Aerodactyl, Sandslash also just sort of walls that. Man, Sandslash is such a good mon. You guys should definitely check out a video called Low Tier Legends Sandslash. All right, you should definitely look. But anyways, yeah, I think Thundurus has the better matchup. But what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Phalanx have some good options here. Kinko's pretty sure. Oh wait, Moltres is not a fire type. I don't know why. It always throws me off. Yeah, I can definitely see what you mean. Unless Phalanx goes for some weird kind of Shinotic Spore setup, something along those lines, to hinder one of their mons. It's pretty hard to break through Thundurus' team. Hmm. I think I have to agree with you here. I'm not sure what the Phalanx can do. They have some good damage, but Thunderous has a lot of answers.
Yeah. I do like the Poltergeist. I think the Poltergeist is alright. I think it has stored power plus Shadow Ball, which I mean if you look at the team, there's not many mons that want to take that besides Galarian Moltres, which okay, so maybe not, never mind. That actually just eats it. I don't know. I'm trying to find an option for the Phalanxes to win. And I mean, if Moltres is gone, I guess Poltergeist wins, but you're gonna have to kill that first, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. So,
Right.
I'm ready to vote if you are.
Yeah, I think we're both gonna give it to Thunderous here. I'm going to give Thunderous a 4-0, and I'm gonna lock it.
Ooh, you're gonna lock it. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give it to the Florida Phalanx.
Really?
Yes.
You did not trust them at all.
No, I look. I think they have an okay matchup. If they kill that Moltres, I think they could sweep with a few Pokemon, but that is if they kill it. So I don't. They have options like Aerodactyl could kill it. They have a few options that they could do well. It's just, look, I'm gonna give them a 1-0. Okay, I think it's gonna be a very close game.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is the Honchkrow Mafia. Please don't look at their team. All right, versus the Breaking Zolts. You should talk about this one actually.
What do I have to talk about?
Oh, you love the first team, don't you?
Oh boy. Okay, so Dragon Dance is a move. And it makes a certain Pokemon really scary.
Yeah, which one is that one?
So, it's a physical fighting dark type.
Pangoro gets that? Jesus.
Right? Imagine. And it also has Moxie, which means if it gets a kill, it hits even harder. So if you don't have a good physical wall, and you bring in something kind of passive, you kind of just die, which I think many teams have seen so far, as Scrafty has 15 kills.
Yeah.
So I looked at the Zolts, and I'm like, what can wall and threaten Scrafty?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gramble, I would say.
Gramble would be their best option. I agree.
Minior is
But
okay. But
the thing about Gramble is it's slow, first of all.
It is slow.
And if they bring in Gramble to respond to Scrafty, Scrafty can get a Dragon Dance up to start. And Scrafty also has... let me look at Scrafty's moves, because I feel like Scrafty can still hit Gramble.
Oh, it can. It can. It has Iron Head and Poison Jab and stuff. However,
Yeah.
Gramble, if you go like max defense, max HP, it has Intimidate, so even if it gets a Dragon Dance up, it'll still be at 0. So Gramble can just press Play Rough, and sure, you can go for a Poison Jab or an Iron Head. That's not going to kill. That's not even going to do half if it's max. So I think Gramble's the best bet.
Gramble would definitely help there. However, if Gramble's the only option they have, they can pretty much put their entire team around being other threats that Gramble would have to come out to enforce.
Mhm.
And if they're able to get rid of that Gramble, I could just see Scrafty just taking the game away again.
And you know what's funny? Sceptile's been doing well on my team. I can see Sceptile doing well on this team too. Look at Sceptile versus this team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it has Acro for the Heracross, and it has Earthquake for the Heliolisk, and, you know, it outspeeds everything except for Minior, but
And they've
then
got Weezing, so they could put a
yeah.
seed on Sceptile to give it its own burden.
Yeah, it could set up on a decent amount of mons like the Shaman. It could set up on it on anything really physical. It can set up on here, which is nice because like as we've seen from my games, it's with that seed. Actually, does that give Spadev or does it give defense? I'm not actually sure.
Misty Seed.
Yeah, Misty Seed.
Misty Seed gives special defense.
Oh, so then okay, so it's actually not bad here because this is a decent amount of special attackers like the Klutzer and like I just said, the Shaman. And so there's even the Heliolisk that could just sort of tank.
No, I'm just gonna give the Mafia a 5-0 here.
Oh my god, the Mafia's taking names.
I think they are absolutely the scariest team.
Yes, I agree because they have not lost yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to the Mafia as well because then they'll just. Anyways, I'm gonna give them. I'll give them a 4-0 this week.
Okay.
I think I'm confident they're gonna win. You know what? I'm gonna lock on them.
Okay. I forgot somewhat about the Mafia. I definitely would have locked on them if I haven't locked already. So.
That's fair. That's fair. Whew. All right. Let's move
Mafia's
on.
taking names.
Yes.
Living up to that.
We got Oops All Whoopers versus the Thornham Fractures. So, all right. Team matchup. It looks like Rabbit has a better team matchup, not because of speed, because speed doesn't. I mean, speed matters, but the Jolteon just gets walled by like the Amalga, the Roserade, and yada yada yada. So Jolteon isn't that scary. Besides that, it's sort of an even speed matchup, and if we look at the Mons in general, Blaziken with its like, let's just say it has Earthquake plus Stab and Swords Dance. I don't see many Mons that want to take any of those moves. I don't.
Yeah. Fracture's also got some pretty nice options, of course. Slurpuff has a lot of flexibility. Molga could come out as well as being a really fast pivot. So I do think the Whoopers are going to struggle here. However, I could see the Whoopers doing something kind of crazy like a Shell Smash Crossall or some kind of setup for Slowking. Maybe even a substitute Chandelure set. They could bring out that Shift Gear Cling Cling. I think they've got a shot here.
Shift Gear Cling Cling. That just makes
It's gonna work. They're gonna bring it.
I don't know what. What is it going to do?
Okay. Shift Gear Cling Cling, and then they use the Gear Grind. It's gonna hit Indeedee. I mean...
No. You said it's gonna hit. Is it really gonna hit? Because it has like an 85% accuracy, alright?
And then you run Blunder Policy.
Oh, okay. You need plus 4 speed. I hear you.
Yeah, obviously.
God.
Like, I just want to see it. I want to see it so bad.
Anyways, let's go to the real life here. Okay, looking at Furret, Furret actually has, no, it doesn't have a good matchup. But last week it came, and it coiled and substituted, and it did something, so that's interesting. I do like stuff like the Rapidash, how it's able to be a special attacker, because it can run stuff like Mystical Fire for the Roserade if that wants to come in. It's a Psychic type, so I don't know why it would do that. Never mind. I do like Rapidash's matchup in general, because it does hit a decent amount of mons on Rabbit's team here.
Yeah, I do have to. I'm gonna give it to the Whoopers, I think, to be honest. I feel like they've definitely got the capabilities for this, personally.
Alright.
3-0.
3-0?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna give them a 3-0. It's definitely pretty close. I don't think it's gonna be a close game, but I think definitely the matchup is pretty close. So I'm gonna give them a 3-0.
3-0. Alright, I will give the Fractures a... I'll give them a 3-0.
Okay.
Alright, move on to the next game. I feel like it's one that I remember. There it is, the Houston Hardscales versus the San Francisco Sirens. Alright.
Alright, what do you think here?
Well, you don't have an ice type. And when there's a Noivern and a Flygon on that team, it's a little scary to see. You have a few options in terms of knocking out dragons. Like, you got the Comfy, you got the Duraludon, I guess, but it's gonna be a little tough to beat both of them. And then I think it's gonna be a decently hard matchup, but I definitely think you have a good chance of winning just because you have so much physical offense, and I don't see many defensive mons on the team. Like, I don't really know how well they're gonna be doing with how much physical offense you have. Like the Porygon Z, the Comfy, the Pissimian, like all these mons that I'm naming, they have enough coverage to knock out all of their defensive mons. So I'm not sure what they can do. So I honestly think you have a better matchup here.
So I've been kind of looking long and hard at my last couple of games. And I do feel like these past matches, like I've definitely drafted mons that are fitting a playstyle that I'm not super comfortable with, because it's a lot of offensive mons that don't have amazingly recoverable pivots. Like Crobat has been really nice. I've been very reliant on it as it's a defensive wall that has good recovery. But then stuff like Colossal as a wall is pretty tricky for me because it can't really heal very reliably. So I do think I need to switch things up here. So I'm going to try my best to kind of analyze how this matchup is going to work and try and go for a new approach, bring in a bit more chaos, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, I never lock in my teams unless I'm 100% certain that they can't get any better. So if you like want to switch up your team, you do have 3 trades that you can utilize, and stuff like the Beldum. If you trade the Beldum plus something else for another mon, that only counts as 1 trade, because whatever you're getting, that's 1 trade. So
yeah,
and
I've been definitely contemplating what to
I think
here.
there's some mons that probably, like, if you look at your next few games, like your next few matchups, and you look at them and you're like, well, I'm probably not going to bring this mon, and this mon, trade them out, get a better mon, and, you know, maybe you could do better. So, because, like, honestly, most of your mons, I think, can do well. Even in this matchup, I think they're really good. I already mentioned, like, Pissimian's pretty good. PZ has enough coverage to basically wipe this guy's team out. But, then again, it's sort of like he probably realizes what mons you're gonna bring, but maybe you can surprise him. Like, I do see some things that you haven't even brought yet that actually might be really nice here. So I don't want to mention all of them, but yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna bet on you this week. So I'm going to give you a 2-0.
Nice. All right, yeah, I didn't bet on myself last time because I wasn't super confident, but I feel like I can pull something together here. So I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna give myself a 4-0. I'm feeling good.
Ooh, okay, I like it. All right.
And if I lose, then I lose. But you know, it'll be a fun match.
Yeah, I think you got this, quite honestly, but we'll see what happens here. All right. So this last one, we got the Charlotte Beedrills versus the Houston Toros. So how do you feel about this matchup?
So looking at this matchup is pretty interesting because I feel like this one's gonna give the Beedrills a bit of the run for their money. The Toros has some pretty nice answers to their defensive lineup. Swampert, for instance, can do pretty well against the Palisand. Moltres is also quite nice against Registeel. But I also think that the Beedrills just has a lot of offense behind that defensive wall that hits the Tauros hard right back. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's going to depend on who kind of takes that step out and goes for the kill. But I don't know if that's going to be the one that wins or the one that gets countered really hard.
Yeah.
What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking. So okay. Personally, okay. So I think Cross traded out his Dracloak for Mischievous, and I mentioned that before. Like it's a good trade, and it's good. I don't think. So it's actually his team has a good matchup, and the reason I say that is because there's not many Mons on the Beedrill side that has stuff like knockoff, and with Clefairy, Mischievous, Mesprit, even Moltres having usually heavy duty boots, a lot of stuff that likes items. I think having Mons with knockoff is nice, and the only ones that I really see is like Serena. I see Muck.
Does Honchkrow have knockoff?
No, I think it only has like Sucker Punch and stuff like that. I don't think it actually has knockoff. So
Gotcha.
There's not many options for knockoff, which is why I sort of am leaning towards Cross's team here.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but no, I think I'll still give it to the Beedrills, to be honest. I think they've got a lot of potential here, and I think they know their Mons well enough to know when it's safe to switch something in to take a hit or two, and kind of move on from there. So I'm gonna give them a 2-0.
That's fair. 2-0. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Houston Tauros for this one, and I'm gonna give them. You know what? I'll give them a 4-0.
Okay.
Go a little bit up there. Alright. So, that was all the games for the Minors Division for week number 4. Of course, if you guys are new, please leave a like and, hit that subscribe button. That'll be, very appreciated. But, yeah. Do you want to end us off, Galaxy?
Good luck on your games, everyone. Good luck, especially to my opponent. I'm gonna try and turn up the heat a bit, but otherwise, hope to see everyone's replays. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. See you guys next time. Peace.